Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Todd Martin, and I would like to welcome you to our first ever virtual old-fashioned melodrama. Tonight's show is entitled The Rhyming Rapscallion, or A Tale That Goes From Bad to Verse, or Dirk and Tallen Hansome, written by Reeves and Rory Mack. Now, even though you're all sitting at home in your nice comfy chairs, it doesn't mean you can't cheer the hero, sigh for the heroine, hiss the villainess, and boo the villain. This is a melodrama after all, so you should definitely make lots of noise and generally make a fool of yourself. And you can even click that donate button throughout the show and show your love for Cheyenne Little Theater. Now, I would like to introduce the cast of The Rhyming Rapscallion. First, give a sigh to Truly Sweetenuff, a typical heroine who ages 20 years in the first few minutes of our show tonight. It's played by Athena. Next, we have Tallen Hansome, a typical hero who also ages 20 years in the first 5 minutes tonight, played by Rory Mack. Now meet Hardly Hansome, the son of Tallen and Truly, who wants to be a poet, not a hero, tonight played by Reeves. Out next is a heroine who's not your typical heroine. She'd give Annie Oakley a run for her money. It's Charity Case, tonight played by Alyssa Hope Kirby. Now give a great big hiss for Shirley Take, the mute villainess, who's very mischievous, sort of our answer to Harpo Marx, tonight mimed by Nancy Stange. Then get your boots revved up as we present Dirk Degenerate, our villain, a very verbaceous, vicious, villainous villain, tonight played by Jacob Soanes. And then to get things started, our narrator, old Susanna Donchacrie, tonight played by Cathie Chadwick. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy The Rhyming Rapscallion. We begin Act 1, Scene 1, Abandoned Mine. The narrator, Susanna Donchacrie, enters.
Now listen to me, gals. Now listen to me, fellas. Let me tell you about a story that wet your dry umbrellas. Started 20 years ago in a long abandoned mine with a pretty little lady and an underhanded swine.
The narrator exits.
Help! Help me! Lord, save me!
From off stage, Truly Sweetenuff, our heroine is dragged, tied up, and helpless onto the stage by the mustache-twirling, cape-wielding villain, Dirk Degenerate.
There's nobody to save you now, Miss Sweetenuff. Your dashing dandy is dead.
How could you? How could you throw him off the canyon like that?
It was easy. I just pushed him.
You monster! You fiend! You...
Are you looking for brute, scoundrel, sleazeball, lowlife, weasel, paragon of mischief?
You meanie!
My dear, your grasp of the English language is much like your prospect of surviving this day. Minimal. I doubt you can decipher your dire dilemma. There's enough derelict dynamite here to destroy a dozen damsels. And with this match, you'll have met yours.
Tallen Hansome, our aptly named hero, suddenly appears on the side of the stage.
Hooray!
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Tallen!
Hansome!
Let her go, Dirk.
I thought I'd rid myself of you once and for all.
Ha. Never underestimate a cowboy. In your rush to push me off that cliff into the Sweetwater, you forgot one thing. We're in a drought. The river was only 4 inches deep. As soon as I hit my trusty steed, hardly the wonder horse, galloped up and chewed me free of that barbed wire.
Wrap that horse in its maniacal jaws.
Oh, Tallen, I knew you'd come back for me.
Don't thank him yet, my dear. If I can't have you, nobody can.
Dirk rushes to light the dynamite stick, but Tallen rushes him.
Curses!
Dirk stumbles off stage.
I'll get you for this, Hansome, if it's the last thing I do.
From that corner of the stage, we hear a loud explosion and a hideous shriek. Truly and Tallen look off, then back at each other.
Well, looks like it was.
My hero.
Oh, 'tweren't nothing, Miss Sweetenuff.
Call me Truly.
Truly? You mean it?
I truly do.
Aww.
They kiss and the curtain drops. Now scene 2 at the Hansome Ranch. Susanna returns.
And that's where this story would usually end, with good beating bad in the bet. But this isn't just one of your any old tales, so don't pack up your things and go yet. See, the two were soon wed, and then they had a son, and they named straight after his horse, and they soon settled down in a cool mountain town and began to live life straight on course. But the years took their toll, as they do to us all, and our hero lost some of his might. But one should realize evil never quite dies, as it creeps round the edges of night.
The curtain rises to the Hansome Ranch. From offstage, we hear shouts.
Help me, Lord, save me.
Tallen runs on stage. He wears spectacles now, is a bit pudgier, and his hair is graying.
Ray?
Don't worry. I'll save you. Oh, my back.
Truly enters, unharmed, but in a foul mood. She's also aged, gray hair. She's carrying a basket of laundry.
There you are, you bag of bones.
Are you okay? What's the matter? I heard you shouting, help me, Lord, save me.
Yeah, that's right. I was asking the good Lord to save me from knocking you on your backside. How many times do I have to tell you, when you're doing the laundry, separate the colors?
She holds up a bright red bandana pinned to the front of a pair of now pink overalls.
I don't think the fellers at the saloon are going to take too kindly to those.
Well, they're gonna have to. They're your only good overalls. Where have you been?
I was out trying to scare off some cattle rustlers.
Oh, no, you weren't. You haven't been able to scare off cattle rustlers since that back of yours went out years ago.
Well, I can yell at them, can't I?
I know what you were doing. You've been down at that saloon again, reminiscing about the good old days with your other has-been hero friends, like that no-good hero Wayne John.
Why, don't you go disrespecting the Duke. He died 2 years ago.
Died from what?
Heroin addiction. He just couldn't stop saving them.
Well, I don't want to catch you round here with the smell of sarsaparilla on your breath. Not around our boy.
Oh, our boy's got enough on his mind. I was up in his room the other day. You wouldn't believe what I found.
Don't tell me.
It's bad.
A package of chew?
Oh, worse.
One of them magazines with the pictures of the ladies showing off their ankles?
Much worse.
What is it? Tell me.
This.
He produces a small book.
He's been writing in it.
Writing? What's he been writing?
And now sit down, Truly.
Tell me, I'm his mother. I have a right to know.
It's poetry.
Shirley practically passes out. She sits on an old stump, fanning herself.
Now just calm down, calm down.
No, not poetry. Anything but poetry.
It's probably just a phase.
We failed him, Tallen. We failed.
Hardly walks on. Hardly is a gangly, empty-headed teenager. He's also our hero. He's searching for something.
Hooray!
Boy, there you are.
Well, Pa, I can't talk. I'm looking for something.
Hardly. We need to talk.
Well, hey, where'd you find that? Ma, what's wrong? Why are you crying?
I can't look at him. I just can't.
You looked in my book, didn't you? That's private. Give it back.
Is it true, Hardly? Are you really writing poetry?
Well, shucks, Ma.
Oh, answer your mother.
Well, kinda. I mean, I've just been experimenting, that's all.
Experimenting, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Experimentation is a dangerous pastime. Sure, it starts out simple, a haiku here, a sonnet there, but before you know it, you're up to your elbows in odes and cantos and harping a crippling dependency on iambic pentameter.
But Pa,
I'm sorry, but I did not spend the last 20 years chasing gunslingers and roping cattle rustlers just to have my son grow up to be a poet.
you don't understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. Just how do you expect to carry on the family business when you got your nose stuck in a book? Why, when we were out walking the other day, I had to point out that lady tied to the railroad tracks to you. You would have walked right past her.
Well, I was trying to come up with a word that rhymes with rawhide.
Rawhide? I'll give you a rawhide if you don't stop writing poetry and start acting like a true Hansome.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Pa. How am I supposed to be a true Hansome with a name like Hardly? Hardly Hansome? Do you know what it's like to go to school with a name like that? I mean, you named me after your horse, Pa.
Don't mouth off about that horse. I love that horse. And besides, you got off lucky. Your mother wanted to name you after her great uncle. Not very.
Oh, just leave me alone. I never asked to be a hero. I never asked to be a Hansome. I never asked to be born.
Hardly grabs his book and stomps away.
Oh, Tallen.
Don't worry, Truly, the boy. He just needs his space.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this. Something's coming. I can feel it in the wind. Something's coming, and it's coming for our Hardly.
You've been spending too much time in the sun.
I wouldn't be talking, mister, with the amount of time you spend in town at that there saloon.
Oh, quit your yapping, woman.
Oh, don't you be calling me woman or you'll be sleeping in the barn tonight. For Pete's sake, pink overalls.
Pinko.
They both walk off, grumbling at each other. After a short moment, Hardly enters the stage.
Finally, some peace and quiet.
He sits down on a stump and takes out his book.
Poetry, you'll never make fun of me. Oh, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5.
Yeehaw!
Hardly falls off the stump. Charity enters, a gun-toting, stare-open female of the cowgirl variety.
Aw,
Howdy. My name's Charity, Charity Case. But don't go making any wisecracks or I'll blow your head off. Just pulling your leg. Not really.
What,
You wouldn't believe what happened to my family. My pa just bought the farm.
Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry.
Next door. We're
Oh.
neighbors. Put her there.
She spits in her hand and offers it to him.
That doesn't seem very hygienic.
Don't be a pussy willow.
She forces his hand into hers and shakes it.
Oh.
Listen to that. When it's a good squishing sound, you know you'll be friends for life. You live here?
Yeah, my name's Hardly Hansome.
And I thought I had a rough name. But seriously, Hardly, I'm new here. What do you do for fun around these parts? Snake catching, steer wrestling, chasing desperate desperados?
I like to write poetry.
You're a funny one, Hardly. Funny looking, that is. But seriously, Hardly, I like you. You got a girlfriend?
Well,
'Cause you do now. Yeehaw! Hey, what's this?
Oh, that's my book. I told you, I write poetry.
Poetry, huh? You mean like the poetry of adventure? The verse of death defying escapades?
She reads from the book.
I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a sagebrush.
It's a work in progress.
Hey, Hardly, do you ever do something, with your time?
Well, there's the poetry.
I mean something meaningful, something important, something interesting.
Well, my poetry isn't interesting.
Hardly.
Yes.
No. I mean, your poetry's hardly interesting. Sheesh. You know what you need.
A good hand washing?
No. You need a good adventure. Come on. I saw some buffalo a couple of miles back that looked like they might have rabies.
We're gonna euthanize them?
Heck no. We're gonna ride them bareback. I'm gonna go get my spurs. Don't move. I'll be right back. Yeehaw!
She gallops off.
Wow. My first girlfriend. Well, at least I think she's a girl. I know. I should write her a love poem.
He gets out his book. Unbeknownst to him, Dirk slinks in from the background and hides behind a cactus.
Boo, boo.
boo.
Horses are red, sunsets are orange. You make my heart sway like a, oh, dang it. I can't think of anything that rhymes with orange.
Appearing from behind the cactus.
Why don't you try door hinge?
Door hinge? Orange door hinge. You make my heart sway like a well-oiled door hinge. Gosh, Mr. Thanks.
No problem. I always like to help out a fellow wordsmith.
Oh, you must have me confused. The wordsmiths live up the road. I'm hardly handsome.
Don't be so tough on yourself.
Well, no, that's my name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, you're the handsome boy?
Yep, my pop's Tallen. Know him?
Oh, we've had some contact in the past. Years ago. No need to notify him now. You're penning poetry.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. Nobody around here seems to like it, though. My folks, my girlfriend. Well, at least I think she's a girl.
Tut, tut, tut. Such a shame, I'm sure. I take you for a tremendous talent.
Wait, really? You think so?
Positively. Let's take a look.
He reads a couple of lines silently. His face turns green. He tries to smile.
Oh, yes. Your poetry is potentially pungently virile.
Oh, golly! Thanks. I don't even know what half those words mean.
Oh, you'll learn in time.
Oh, gosh, you seem so nice.
More than you know. More than you know.
And such a good sense of humor, too.
You know, hardly, I'm teaching a poetry class over at my secret underground lair. My secret underground liberal arts college.
Really?
I'd love it if you would attend a private seminar.
Oh, that sounds swell. When?
Well, we can wander there now if you'd like.
Would I?
Dirk takes him by the shoulder and walks him off.
The time has come, my cowboy friend, to talk of things of spears and beers and branding rods, of barbecue and wings.
They exit. After a brief pause, Charity rushes on stage wearing her lovely new spurs.
Aww.
Hardly! Hardly! Where are you? Come out! Come out! Those rabid buffalo ain't gonna ride themselves. Hardly? Uh-oh. Something smells funny. It's the smell of coal and canaries and dynamite. Hardly! Hardly! Where did you get off to?
So that's how the first act ends. Dirk and Hartley are now friends, and his rowdy cowboy girlfriend's on the track. Are you nervous or perplexed? Want to know what happens next? You'll just have to sit around till we come back.
And that's the end of Act 1 of the Rhyming Rapscallion. Now enjoy Brooks and Rivers.
Hey, Brooks.
Hey, Rivers.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yep,
This is normal.
totally normal.
This is the way to do a vaudeville show.
You mean without an audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big change for us.
You're right. Usually they don't start leaving until the first couple of minutes.
Well, at least we can't hear them booing.
Ah, speak for yourself. I've got in-laws watching.
You know, I can't get accustomed to these Zoom meetings. It took me forever to figure them out.
Well, I know. When I told you we were going to do the melodrama on the computer, I didn't mean for you to actually sit on it.
Ruined a good iPad I did.
Yeah, sure. Just make sure that you don't do what you did last time.
What'd I do?
You went to the toilet live during our Zoom rehearsal.
It's a free country.
That is not a good way to keep your internet secure.
Oh, no, you don't mean I gave away my...
IP address, exactly.
Ah, nuts. I'll never get a handle on this technology. I couldn't even get a handle on that ice cream cone. It kept draining through my fingers.
You were holding it upside down.
Well, now you tell me.
Yeah. Well, look at it from this perspective. With your lousy internet connection and your choppy frame rate and your pixelated screen image, you've never looked better.
You're just saying that to make me feel better.
No, I promise you, that is not true.
Well, how have you been handling the life on lockdown?
Oh, I sit at home all day and have little contact with other people and go outside as little as possible.
So a regular Saturday night for you.
It's been the best month of my life.
But what about your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, that bad, huh?
No, she's German. That's her name. Yeah.
Oh, that's a mouthful.
Well, you're telling me. The other day I lost her at the grocery store and kept calling for her. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next thing I know, I was in the hospital, quarantined.
Oh, how'd you get out?
Yeah, no insurance.
That's rough.
Oh.
You wouldn't believe the size of my hospital bill.
Oh, how much was it? An arm or a leg?
Worse, one whole roll of toilet paper.
Yikes! So now that you're back home, how are you two getting along?
She doesn't go bother me too much. She's out gardening, though I keep arguing about her about her wardrobe.
Well, what's wrong?
Well, I keep telling her you can't plant tomatoes in an evening gown.
But she won't listen?
No, she's digging in her heels.
Sounds rough.
My dog sounds rough. She sounds positively barking.
Oh, Rivers.
That's not the worst of it. I found out last night she took my credit card and ordered $2,000 worth of Botox on eBay.
Well, how did she react when you confronted her?
No sign of emotion.
Oh, boy. That's cold.
You're telling me when our refrigerator broke down, I had my wife sleep with the ice cream so it wouldn't melt.
Oh, that explains.
Explains what?
Well, I didn't want to say nothing, but I heard rumors that she's been sleeping with Ben and Jerry and Carl.
What was that?
Nothing.
You know, my wife spends money like there's no tomorrow, which, given the last 2 months, I guess I can't blame her.
I wouldn't be too hard on her. There are some big deals on eBay. I saw this morning that there's a big screen television going for $10.
What's the catch?
Well, the volume's stuck on full, but I'm going to buy it anyway.
Why is that?
I just can't turn it down.
Well, you've got to be careful about wasteful spending, Brooks.
I can't help it. This quarantine has got me so upset. I've been having nightmares. Last night, I dreamt I was a wigwam. The night before, I dreamt I was a teepee.
Sounds like you're too tense.
Oh, exactly. I tried going to an online meeting of Hypochondriacs Anonymous, but I couldn't get past the first step.
What was that?
Admitting you don't have a problem.
Yeah, well, in your case, I'm not sure that's accurate.
Hey, I'll have you know that my dad died of coronavirus.
Your dad died of cirrhosis of the liver. He was an alcoholic.
Well, yeah, but his favorite drink was Corona.
You're being ridiculous.
Well, oh, you think so? What about my grandpa? He just died last night in the hospital.
Oh, that's awful. Well, I've only got one thing to say. Plethora.
Oh, thanks. That means a lot.
Well, how did he die?
That's just it. We don't know. The nursing staff lost his blood work. They spent all night looking for it, but, you know, he was always an optimist, my Gramp. I'll never forget his final words. He kept saying them over and over again.
What were they?
Be positive.
Well, listen, you're going to be just fine.
Mentally?
I wouldn't go that far, but physically, you just have to make sure you follow the government guidelines.
Okay, you're telling that to the guy who couldn't follow the instructions on the back of the glue bottle.
Sure you could. You just got to stick with it.
What are these guidelines?
Well, keep at least 6 feet away from people at all times.
Well, considering I'm supposed to stay 150 feet away from my ex, I'll consider this an opportunity.
No, wait, your ex? I thought you were dating a new girl.
Oh, I am. We started seeing each other right before the lockdown. We've been not seeing each other for weeks.
You're also supposed to wear a mask, which in your case might be an improvement.
Ah, hey now, quit making jabs. Can't you see I'm beside myself?
Give me time. I'm only on my 3rd gin and tonic.
You're like my pet cow. Ever since she got that cold, every time I go around her, she goes, boo.
Sounds like beef with excellent taste. But wait a second. You have a cow? I call bull.
Well, I did too at the auction. I got a heifer instead.
You don't know the first thing about ranch life.
Wait, what are you talking? I never eat salad without it.
I wasn't talking about your dressing.
Well, good, because I just made the down payment on this shirt. In fact, I just got off the phone with my tailor about my bill. Ugh, it was a closed call.
This is nonsense. You're no cowboy.
Well, I am too.
You couldn't shoe a horse to save your life.
Well, maybe not, but I once scared away a donkey.
You leave Joe Biden out of this.
You know, I could have used the word jackass.
Yeah, but with one in the Oval Office.
It seemed redundant, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Brooks, do you hear that deafening silence?
You mean the noise I hear after every one of our jokes?
No. That would be the sound of people dying.
Of laughter?
Of indigestion.
Well, in this climate, it never hurts to ask.
Well, folks, I wish I could say it's been enlightening.
But you just proved you could.
But I'm Rivers.
And I'm Brooks.
And we'll be back next summer.
Thank you, Brooks and Rivers. And now it's time for Act 2 of the Rhyming Rapscallion, Scene 1, the Hansome Ranch. Susanna comes back out and addresses the audience.
Well, howdy ho. Welcome back. Hope you've all enjoyed a snack, done your business, got some beers, and blown your nose. But now instead of nature calling, we see our handsome hero, Tallen, having trouble trying out his newfound clothes.
Susanna exits and truly takes the stage. She calls out to the door.
Oh, come on now.
I don't wanna.
It can't be that bad.
Oh, it is. Trust me.
Now, Tallen, those are your only good overalls, and if you don't come out this second, I'll drag you out like a rattlesnake in a ferret hole.
Oh, fine.
He cautiously steps out. He is dressed in the pink overalls. He looks ridiculous.
Now, don't you go and say anything.
Oh, you look fine.
Great. Glad I could rely on a little support from my wife.
Support. You're lucky I don't divorce you looking like that. Besides, you're the one who did the laundry.
Well, I wouldn't have had to if that son of ours had done his chores properly. Hardly? Hardly.
Quit shouting. He's not here.
Well, land's sakes, where's that boy got off to this time?
I don't know. He's been gone for almost an hour now.
Probably off writing that poultry of his.
That's poetry, not poultry. If he showed an interest in poultry, he'd probably be out with some chicks. Besides, I don't think he's been out writing that godforsaken verse of his. I have a bad feeling.
Oh, you and your feelings. Ugh.
Feelings are important. I was reading in this here book, Men Are From Yellowstone, Women Are From the Grand Tetons, that the male species is like a geyser. You bottle up all your emotions so tight that eventually you just explode.
We do not explode!
Of course, with those overalls, it looks like you've already come to grips with your feminine side.
Oh, give me that. The day a woman starts reading is the day trouble starts brewing.
There's a knock at the door.
Now, who can that be?
Well, open the door.
He does. There's a letter at the foot of the door.
I'll be.
Who is it?
I don't know. Some woman just knocked and on the door and took off. She left this. It's a note. Let's see. Dear Tallen and truly, if you ever want to see your nos again alive, come to the old abandoned mine north of town. You know where. Nos? We don't have a nos, do we?
What? Give me that.
She takes the letter.
That son, you backward bumpkin.
Now that makes more sense. Wait. That means,
Somebody's got our boy.
and I think I know who.
You don't mean.
Oh, smell the letter.
Smells like glue.
No, the other side.
Listen, just because you enjoy sniffing glue does not mean I'm gonna do it again.
Dag nabbit woman, I'm talking about mustache wax. Smell it.
Oh no, this doesn't mean.
I'm afraid it does.
I thought he was blown to smithereens.
Well, so did I, but I guess he was only blown to Saratoga.
What are we gonna do?
Do? I'm going after him.
How? You don't have your horse no more. Not since he dropped dead and you had him stuffed and mounted. And by the way, that is not a romantic thing to have inside the bedroom.
Maybe not for you.
Where are you going?
If I can't take a horse, then I'm gonna walk.
Oh, with your bad feet? You can barely make it into town by your lonesome.
Don't argue with me, woman. It's a waste of time.
I know, because you would never acknowledge that you're wrong.
You know, when we got married, I knew you were Miss Right. I just didn't realize your first name was always. Hey, what do you think you're doing now?
I'm packing a knapsack. I'm coming with you.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. Dang.
Watch your mouth. There are children in the audience. Now, come on, Tallen. We got to go rescue our boy.
I got a bad feeling about this.
That's just your irregularity. Let's go.
As they leave, Susanna comes out again.
Parents often worry, and they do so in a hurry, when their kid might not be honest on the level. But this time there's cause for fear, 'cause in a cavern not so near, hardly Hansome's being tempted by the devil.
We move to scene 2, abandoned mine. Hardly and Dirk enter.
Yay, boo! Yay, boo!
Golly, mister, I don't think I've ever seen an underground campus before.
Campus? Oh, yes, right. Well, you know our Wyoming winters.
Oh, and that was such a pretty primrose path you led me down to get here?
We try to keep up appearances.
The Limited Liability Last Chance Community College. What a fancy name. But where are the other buildings?
Other buildings?
You know, for the college?
My dear friend, here at LLCCC, we follow the sacred rule of Socrates. Never ask questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
And the less you ask, the more it will stay that way.
Shirley Take enters from the side.
Oh, mister, look.
Shush. I thought I heard something.
Quietly, Shirley has snuck up right behind him.
Don't move.
He tiptoes to the side of the stage and she walks step behind him. He whirls around suspiciously and she just barely ducks herself out of the way back behind him. He then slowly turns back and she does the same. After a moment's pause, he whirls around again, but again she ducks and whirls away behind him. He slowly turns back.
Mister,
Not now.
He whirls again, only this time she does not move and stands there nose to nose with him. He jumps back.
Mister, are you all right?
Shirley, how many times have I told you not to do that? Have you delivered the letter? Good. Everything is falling into place.
What letter?
Oh, nothing. An academic acceptance letter, a matriculating missive. We're presently pursuing principal people.
Well, people for what?
Why, we're seeking students for the second term. Say, you wouldn't be interested in a lettered life of learning, would you?
Oh, I don't know. I sort of have to help back at the house.
We have an entire major devoted to creative writing.
Really?
Oh, yes. In fact, would you like to try out a writing exercise right now?
Oh, would I?
You're a bit cheery for a poet, aren't you?
Pardon?
Never mind. We'll fix that. Hardly Hansome. I'd like you to meet someone, one of our instructors here at LLCCC, Professor Shirley Tate.
Oh, glad to meet you, ma'am.
He shakes her hand. She doesn't say anything, but she smiles at him professorially.
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
Hardly.
Yes?
No, I mean, you hardly said something wrong. Professor Take is just a little...
As he's been saying this, she's making exaggerated facial expressions behind him. As soon as she turns around, she stops.
Reserved.
Cat got her tongue?
It was a cougar, actually, but she doesn't like to talk about it. Can't, actually. Missing tongue and all.
Oh, that's horrible.
During all of this, Shirley has snuck behind Dirk and stolen his wallet from his pocket. She casually leans against a wall and is counting the money.
Yes, it's an entirely tasteless affair, but despite her being struck dumb, she has many useful...
Dirk casually turns around and takes back his wallet as if this is something he's very used to.
Talents. She's an excellent teacher.
Well, do you think I could learn something? Do you?
As he says this, Shirley steals Hardley's wallet.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Sorry?
He turns around just in time for Shirley to pat him maternally on the head.
Nothing. I mean, of course she can teach you. Professor Tate, would you do the honors?
She nods. She stands before Hardley, inspecting him. She holds his chin in her hands and turns his face this way and that. She studies his eyes. She then very carefully walks around him, surveying his body, tisking and shaking her head. She finally faces him once more. He's very nervous by this point. She looks him up and down and then out of nowhere sharply backhands him across the jaw. He falls to the ground and Shirley brushes her hands satisfactorily.
Oh, she likes you.
She does?
Oh, yes. You have great promise.
I do?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I think you might be ready for some of our advanced creative exercises.
He produces some rope.
What do you think, Professor?
Shirley once more approaches Hardly. He flinches a bit as her hand dangerously approaches his face. She clutches his chin again and twists his head this way and that. She finally lets go. After a moment of consideration, she pats him on the head sweetly and nods to Dirk.
Oh, golly, mister, I thought she was going to hit me again.
Bam! She wallops him again.
Yee-haw!
Very good, Professor Tay. Now, if you'll assist me.
He hands her the other end of the rope.
Oh, my jaw.
Dirk and Shirley begin to encircle the boy, entwining him in the rope.
Now, just relax, my boy.
How come there's 4 of you now?
This is all part of the exercise.
Exercise? But I already did my cardiovascular this morning.
In order to be able to write freely as a poet, we must first learn to remove the ropes of rancid rigmarole.
Well, that's what it is? Rigmarole?
Exactly, Hardly. You must free yourself from the shackles of your mind.
As Shirley and Dirk circle around, she steals his wallet from his back pocket, and then as they pass again, he takes it back. The back and forth should look completely rehearsed and non-emotional.
Well, these seem more like shackles of the body.
The illusion is convincing, is it not?
You mean?
Imagination is a powerful thing. Once you unlock the true secrets and escape, you truly will be on your way to becoming a powerful pundit of the pen.
But how do I get out of this?
That is for you to discover. As for us, we have some business to attend. Come, Shirley.
They leave. Hardly struggles with the ropes, but he is good and stuck.
Now just remember, Hardly, it's all in your brain. It's all in your brain. It's all in your brain.
Psst.
Brain, train, sane, cane, the Ukraine.
Psst. Hey, I'm talking to you.
Spain, rain, mainly in the plain.
From the darkness, Charity enters.
Aw,
Oh,
yay.
stop it with that jabbering, will ya?
Oh, Charity, it's you.
You bet it's me.
She goes to work on the ropes.
Are you taking a class here?
What in tarnation are you talking about?
Wait, for the college. I'm taking a writing class. I'm going to be a poet.
Oh, they hit you on the head, didn't they?
What?
You got
No.
a concussion, don't you?
Well, sorta.
Well, don't you worry. I'll have you out of these ropes.
Well, oh, no, Charity. You're wasting your time.
Like heck I am. I ain't gonna lose my first boyfriend hours after I got him. That's how a girl gets a bad reputation.
What? No, don't you see? You can't untie them. The ropes aren't real.
What did you say?
Well, I'm not really tied up. It's all in my head.
Charity looks at him. He nods at her knowingly.
What in the Sam Hill did they hit you with? One of those Juan's pancakes?
What? You know, they're enrolling for next semester right now. You should consider it.
I should consider whether or not I'm a grade A moron for making a bonehead my boyfriend.
She finishes with the ropes.
Now there, you're free. Let's go.
Oh, Charity, sweet Charity, you just don't understand.
No, I mean it. Look down. You're free.
Oh, wow. I guess my mantra worked better than I thought it did.
Now come on, let's get out of here.
But I just started my studies.
Hardly handsome. If you weren't such a sweet-looking feller, I'd slap you upside the head.
Well, that didn't stop Professor Take.
Oh, will you quit talking crazy and move? Who knows when those goons will come back?
As she turns to leave, Dirk suddenly appears, blocking her path.
Boo! Boo!
Indeed. Who knows it all?
Charity gasps and runs to leave the other way, but Shirley blocks her way.
Kiss!
Now,
Yes!
step aside. You don't want to make me angry. Why, I might just...
Shirley produces a pistol.
I might just stand over here and cooperate with you and that nice man over there.
Oh, hi there, mister. Look, I got free from my rigmarole.
So you did. Quite impressive. I don't believe you've introduced us to this charming coquette.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Charity. Charity Case.
She elbows him.
Ah.
Are you nuts? I don't want this creep knowing my name.
Well, but this man isn't a creep. He's a poet.
That seems sort of redundant to me. Now, let's get out of here.
Don't leave, Hardly. Stay with me. I know what it's like.
What's what like?
What did I just tell you, Hardly? Don't listen to him.
I know what it's like to live in a world where no one understands you, where nobody appreciates your form of self-expression, be that composing poetry or robbing banks.
Well, I'm sorry, Robin, what?
That's not important.
Hardly! Look at him! Normal people don't dress like that. He's evil!
Yes. Look at me, Hardly. What do you see? A tortured fellow artist. Don't leave. There are so few of us left in this unloving world.
You're right. I tried to start an open mic night at the saloon, but they just wanted can dancers.
Exactly. Think about it, Hardly. Your mother, your father, do they really love you? Do they really appreciate your gifts of poetry like I do?
No, they hate it. They want me to quit.
What about your girlfriend here? Has she ever supported you? Has she ever helped you to become a better poet? Or has she just dragged you down to her own pithy level?
Who are you calling pithy? I'll pith you.
Well, he's right. He wanted me to ride buffalo with you instead of listening to my limericks. You don't care about my art. Nobody does.
I do, Hardly. I've always believed in you.
That's amazing. We met just hours ago.
Try not to analyze it too much, Hardly.
But I don't know what to do.
No,
What do you at home think?
no, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it,
Don't
Hardly.
do it.
Don't like
Don't
it.
do it.
No,
Do it.
don't.
I'll tell you what I think. I think you should encourage your girlfriend here to see the light. Why don't you put her through the same exercise you went through?
As if
Oh, yes.
he
Soon
begins
she'll
to
see
tie
the
her
light.
up.
Hardly! What the Sam blazes do you think you're doing?
Soon you'll be free from your mind's chains.
Hardly? If you don't let me go right now, I swear I'm gonna knock you in the you-know-where so hard that you'll be singing soprano for the rest of your life.
I don't think you're in a position to threaten anyone, dearie.
Boo.
Boo.
What did you just call me? Why, I oughta...
Come, lad. I've changed my mind. I think you'll make a perfect protege. But first, we should get you a new wardrobe. I'm expecting company soon, hardly, and I wouldn't want you to disappoint them. No, from the diaphragm, like this.
They walk off. Shirley sits down next to Charity and offers her a banana. Charity takes it glumly, only to realize that because she's tied up, she can't reach her mouth. She puckers.
Oh, rats.
Susanna re-enters.
Now this story has taken a pretty strange turn. You don't know who to hiss or cheer. But don't worry too hard, just trust me. I'm the bard. So sit back and enjoy your third beer.
And that concludes Act 2 of the Rhyming Rapscallion. Now sit back and relax as we're joined by Todd Martin.
Hey, Melodrama. Hope everybody's doing well. Surviving the COVID. I'm so grateful to play for you guys. This is a song I wrote for my dad, Bill DeReamer. My name's Todd DeReamer. This song about putting together anything you can to just make it good. It's called We Don't Like to Buy Anything New. We don't like to buy anything new. We don't like to buy anything new. We got a strong appreciation for a lack of appreciation. Everything we got has no further to fall. The truck we drive was made in 1952. Dad always says they don't make them like they used to. And if you're gonna buy a tire, you better make it a retread. Buying a new Goodyear might go to your head. We don't like to buy anything new. We don't like to buy anything new. We got a strong appreciation for a lack of appreciation. Everything we got has no further to fall. Planned obsolescence, things seldom last. That's why everything we got still runs on regular gas. It's not that we're cheap, no, it's not that we're tight. If it ain't 10 years old, well, it don't feel quite right. We don't like to buy anything new. We don't like to buy anything new. We got a strong appreciation for a lack of appreciation. Everything we got has no further to fall. It seems like nowadays everything made in Taiwan. Our cars, our trucks, our bikes, our innocence gone. And we don't like to buy anything new. And we don't like to buy anything new. We've got a strong appreciation for a lack of appreciation. Everything we got is no further to fall. Everything we got is no further to fall.
Welcome back to Act 3 of the Rhyming Rapscallion. It's Scene 1, Abandoned Mine. Charity is still tied up. Shirley attempts to balance a broom on one hand. Dirk looks at his pocket watch impatiently. Susanna walks out.
Well, welcome back, as we finish our tale of our poet, the heroine's son, when we last left the lad for a fool he'd been had by that villainous son of a gun. And in case you were wondering still, things continue to look pretty grim. But it's always the darkest before it's the dawn, so let's let the last act begin.
Susanna leaves. The action begins.
This has gone on far enough. Let me out of these things.
Struggle all you want, my dear. Your fate is as sealed as this mine soon will be.
Are you crazy? You're going to seal the mine?
That would be the logical conclusion to make, wouldn't it? Based on what I just said.
Don't you get smart with me, you pencil-neck varmint.
If I were you, I wouldn't be throwing around thankless threats.
You think you're so clever just because you use words that start with the same letter.
Well, I'd like to see you try.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're nothing but a bubble-headed, ballet-loving, beehive-bending, varmint!
You twittering twit! Behold, nobody has ever bested me by my brilliant, bookish bounty, and I sincerely doubt you'd be the first.
Just you wait, when Hardly comes to his senses.
Hardly has already come to his senses, my dear. He's getting into costume as we speak.
Calling out to the
Hardly.
backstage.
How is it coming?
Mr. Degenerate,
What is it?
I'm having some trouble with this. Ow! Oh!
Hardly? Is that you?
Well, I can't talk, Charity. I keep getting these suspenders stuck.
If you don't come out here right now and rescue me, I'm going to go in there and tie those suspenders around your neck.
Just a minute, Hardly. Shirley! Don't glare at me. Come help me with this stupid boy. And you, my dear, don't worry. We'll be back.
They exit.
I may have been in worse situations than this, but I don't think I've ever been in one this stupid.
From up the stairs enter Tallen and Truly.
Oh, watch where you're going.
I'm sorry, Tallen. It's just so dark in this mine. Are you sure you know where you're going?
Of course I know where I'm going.
You know, I wanted to ask for directions back there, but you said...
Will you stop micromanaging? This was that no-good Dirk Degenerate's hideout 20 years ago. I'm sure he's come back.
Well, he better be, because if he isn't, I'm not walking back to the house just to find the map I told you we should bring with us in the first place.
I know where I'm going.
Hello? Hey! Who's up there?
Tallen, I think I hear somebody.
What?
I said, I think I hear somebody down there.
You hurt something? Down there? Your foot?
What are you, deaf? She said she heard somebody. Now will you two stop dilly-dallying and come down here and untie me?
Who was that? Was that our boy?
No, hardly doesn't sound that manly. Who are you? What do you want?
What do I want? I want to get out of these ropes and out of this cavern, that's what I want.
Oh, a damsel in distress.
Shirley enters. She looks up in surprise at the voices above.
We'll be right down.
They exit the balcony.
Oh, if these folks are anything like their son, I'm done for.
Shirley takes out her pistol and whistles to the backstage.
Wait! No!
Just hold on tight.
Dirk enters and silently takes out his pistol.
No! Don't come down!
Don't worry. I've been tied up lots of times. Just try to focus on your breathing.
No! You don't understand!
They re-enter on the ground level. Shirley and Dirk have hidden behind them.
Don't worry. I'll save you.
You don't
He
know how long
stops
he's
and
been
calls bashfully.
You don't know how long he's been waiting to say that.
Then I hope he savors the experience, because it's going to be his very last.
Dirk!
Degenerate.
Ah, yes. Tallen handsome, and truly handsome. So we meet again. Pink overalls.
Okay, so I shouldn't do the laundry by myself. Can we just drop it?
I'm sorry, Tallen. I didn't realize in your old age you'd become so sensitive about housework.
Oh, quit your yapping. What have you done to our boy?
Give him back.
Hey! What about me? I'm the one needing rescued here.
Don't worry. Your boy has been taken good care of.
I swear if you've done anything,
Tallen, don't swear. There's youngins in the audience.
it's a saying, truly a saying.
I haven't done anything to your boy. I've just helped him to be on his path to self-actualization. I've allowed him to see his true potential, what he was really meant to be. Hardly, come out here.
They all turn to look towards the wings expectantly. Hardly does not appear.
Hardly?
I'm sorry. I'm just worried about this glue.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well, I don't want the mustache to fall off.
Hardly, get out here!
With some trepidation, Hardly enters. He is now dressed as a villain. Cape, black outfit, and a mustache. Boo!
Nor the peanut gallery, Hardly. You'll get used to them.
Hardly.
Handsome.
I'll say, hey, ex-boyfriend, you got a caterpillar crawling on your face there. And I want to brush it off.
Don't tease the boy. It isn't a caterpillar. That's a stand-in for when Hardly can grow his own.
Ma, Pa.
I don't believe it. Just when I thought you couldn't disappoint me more.
He's not our boy. He's not the son we raised.
See, Hardly? See how they reject you? See how they turn away?
But this is what you told me all poets wear.
Oh, it is Hardly. All of them. From William Shakespeare.
Shirley presents a picture of Shakespeare. Indeed, he has a mustache. Perhaps his eyebrows are a little more evil looking than we recall.
To Edgar Allan Poe.
Shirley presents another picture of Poe, similarly doctored.
To Miss Emily Dickinson herself.
Shirley presents the last picture of Emily Dickinson, and yes, she has a mustache and evil eyebrows.
Wow, I never noticed it before, but you're right.
Hardly, get over here. You're coming home.
But I want to stay here and be a poet.
No handsome man has ever been a poet, and this family isn't going to start with you.
No, you can't make me.
Oh, they can't, Hardly. And for your first poetic masterpiece, I have something particularly explosive in mind.
You do?
Hardly. You come over here right now.
Don't listen to them, Hardly. Listen to your instincts, your gut.
I think it says I'm hungry.
Exactly, Hardly. You are hungry for revenge.
What, revenge?
Yes, for what they did to you, for what they put you through, for what they did those 20 long years ago.
20 years?
I mean, how they raised you, how they neglected you.
Well, they didn't really neglect me per se. I mean, for Christmas, Ma would always bake these special buffalo pies.
Work with me here, Hardly. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to make all of your problems go away.
All my problems?
Yes, gone in one big bang. All you have to do is push this lever.
He removes the drapes around a dynamite detonator.
Oh, great. This is just perfect.
Hardly. Get away from that thing.
Don't listen to him, Hardly. Only listen to your art.
Well, all I have to do is push this and I'll have created my greatest masterpiece?
Yes, just push it. Push it good. But you might want to wait until I have a chance to get out of this mine.
Shirley stomps on his foot.
Until Professor Take and I have a chance to clear the mine.
Well, I don't understand.
Undertaking something so important is serious work. We don't want to disturb the creative process, do we?
Hardly, what are you thinking? That man is evil.
Think of it, Hardly. The fame, the prestige. From here on, you shall be known as one whose name was writ on nitroglycerin.
Oh, that does have a ring to it.
This is what happens plunge into seeing someone without dating first.
Oh, I don't know.
With his hands on the lever, he asks the audience,
Should I do it? Should I push the lever?
No, don't do it.
Don't push
Don't
the
do
lever.
it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
After much yelling from the audience and an exaggerate internal struggle, Hardly steps back.
I can't do it.
I knew he wouldn't do it. I knew your inner angel would prevail.
Well, no, I mean, I can't. I physically can't. I don't have the upper body strength to push it down.
Hardly. Get away from that thing. That's an explosive.
Why, an explosive?
Curses! My plan!
I thought it was supposed to be some microphone stand or something.
Brandishing his gun.
All right. Stop right there. Nobody move.
Hardly run.
Tallen, Truly, and Hardly take off via different exits.
Rat. That never seems to work. Shirley, after them.
Dirk and Shirley run out from different exits.
Oh, sure. That's right. Just forget the heroin tied up to a bunch of dynamite over here.
Via piano music, the theme song to the Benny Hill Show begins, or perhaps the finale of the Dance of the Hours. The five of them run in and out of doors, a la Scooby-Doo. Upstairs, downstairs, it should be nonstop chaos. Suddenly, there's a break in the music. There's a break in the music.
That's okay. I'll gnaw through these ropes eventually. Don't worry about me.
The music starts up again. More chasing. Even Susanna and the Can girls get in on the action. Eventually, Tallen and Truly are cornered on stage, and Shirley and Dirk tie a rope around them, choreographed beautifully to the music. The both are pushed down. Dirk aims his pistol. He is too late.
I wouldn't move if I were you, poet.
You let go of my mom, Pa.
And what am I? Chopped liver?
Well, yeah, and the chopped liver, too. She's my girlfriend.
Girlfriend? Did you hear that, Tallen?
Uh, well, I didn't know poets had girlfriends.
That's right. You owe me $5.
What, did you hear me? You let my people go.
Silence! You pathetic wimp! Who on earth do you think you are?
I'm a Hansome.
Hardly.
Yes?
No, I mean, you're hardly a handsome. Gadzooks! What is it with the people of this town naming their children after adverbs? Now listen here, you pretentious loser poser. You may be your father's kin, but you are nothing like it. You are not, nor ever could be, worthy of challenging me. You, Tallen, you, yes, you are the quarrelsome quarry today. You were always the challenge. For years, you soured my schemes, foiled my fantasies, pooed on my plots.
We had someone poo on our plots. Daddy chased him off with the shotgun.
Silence! For 10 straight years, we battled it out until that one fateful day 20 years ago, right here, in this abandoned mine.
I thought this place seemed familiar.
Well, I told you I knew where we were going. But we killed you in that explosion. How did you come back?
Killed? Not quite. I survived, barely. But you're right. Part of me did die that day. Part of me that would never quite grow back.
From his pocket, he produces something small, hairy, and charred.
I hope that's not what I think it is.
Don't be crude. It was my mustache. I escaped with my life from that infernal inferno, but in the process, my one true signature, the one true token of my identity, had been singed off. And a villain without his mustache is like a well-rounded sphere. Pointless. And thus, I've been waiting ever since to enact my revenge. 20 long years.
Why did it take you so long?
That's how long it took me to grow it back.
I wish I could say I was surprised.
Murk all you want, because you have precious little time left. I shall not make the same mistake I kept making last time, creating elaborately deadly, but plausibly escapable scenarios, and leaving you to assume eventual demise, only to have you escape and foil my plans again and again. No, I've moved past that phase.
Well, it took you long enough.
Silence, you mincing maiden. You fail to see that this time there is no one here to save you. You're both tied up. Your hardy husband has grown soft in his old age, even without a pistol and a bumbling sidekick. I could still vanquish you both. Who have you now? A cornered, cowering cowgirl?
You want to come over here and say that?
And a whimpering wannabe wordsmith? They don't make heroes like they used to, eh, Tallen?
Oh, you leave my boy out of this.
I'm afraid that's impossible. I'm not taking any chances. If I can't con this boy into pushing this lever, then I'll do it myself.
Shirley looks at him with alarm. She has no intention of being blown to bits. As she's about to leave, Dirk grabs her, unaware of her state of panic.
That's right. We'll all go together when we go. Every cucumber and every Eskimo.
Throughout the rest, Shirley attempts in vain to release herself from Dirk's unaware grip.
You're crazy. You're mad.
Mad, you say? Mad I might be, But you might be mad too if you were always greeted with hisses and boos every time you enter a room.
Oh,
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Every summer, we constantly lose and lose again to be Cheyenne Frontier Day's proverbial Sisyphus, continually rolling that boulder up the hill, only to have it come rolling back down again and again. You think me mad? Well, mister, let me tell you, I'm positively hopping, but not this time. No!
He moves over to the detonator, releasing Shirley, who busts out of his grip in a flash.
This time, the villain will come out on top. This time, the hero will wind up on the short end of the stick. This time, there is nothing, nowhere to stop. This night, this summer, this very moment, villainy will finally...
Ooh.
Villainy will finally... great. This is embarrassing. What's the word I'm looking for? Villainy will finally...
prevail?
Prevail! Yes, exactly. That's it. This time, villainy will finally... Wait, what did you say?
Or how about prosper, triumph, dominate, rule, or if you want to be simple about it, succeed.
What are you doing? Stop that!
What, stop what? You mean stop this? Cease my sonorous speech and my elongated elocution, terminate my talking, desist my discussion, piddle my prattle?
Stop it! That's my bit! I'm the one who's supposed to talk funny.
Oh yeah, and that is all you have ever done. You and your absurd avalanche of alliteration. I mistook you for a lover of linguistics, but you're nothing but a phonetic fraud. I reject and denounce you.
He tears off his mustache.
Ow.
That's it. Who gave him the thesaurus?
Oh.
You. I should have let that bobcat eat the rest of your face.
Repent, Rapscallion, and witness the wonder of words.
No! Somebody stop him!
She walks in beauty like the night.
No! He's killing me!
Of cloudless climes and starry skies.
Killing me! Softly!
And all that's best of dark and bright.
With his song, with his words.
Meet in her aspect and her eyes.
Killing me softly with his song.
Dirk fades and collapses.
Oh, hardly.
That was powerful.
That was beautiful.
That was Lord Byron. Ye gods. Am I the only one here who ever took an English class?
Oh, here, let me help you out of that.
Oh, hardly.
his parent.
Hardly, that was so courageous.
I'll admit that was a different way of handling that kind of situation, but well,
Yes?
good job. I'm proud of you, son.
You are?
Truly.
Yes.
Oh, for Pete's sake, I hardly mentioned your name.
Yes?
No, my mistake.
Yeah.
They all stop and stare at her.
Oh, I get it. Her name is Take, Miss Take. Well, who came up with these names? Oh, Charity, I almost forgot about you.
I noticed.
He unties Charity. Instead of hugging him, though, she smacks him across the face.
Oh,
That's for tying me up in the first place. And this
She punches him in the stomach.
oh,
is for not untying me first.
oh, the great poets were right. Love hurts.
In the background, Dirk has regained consciousness. He attempts to slink out. Shirley notices and whistles.
Oh,
Look, Dirk Degenerate is trying to get away.
You may have beaten me this time, but I'll be back next summer, and next time you'll pay. Pay, I tell you.
and where are you gonna slink off to, huh?
I'm going to California to visit my sister, Ellen.
Ellen Degenerate?
Yes, I hear she's doing very well for herself. And so, until next time, I bid you an assiduous adieu.
As he turns around to find himself an exit, he finds himself face to face with Shirley.
Nuh-uh.
She thrusts a stick of dynamite at him, and both he and it stumble off the stage.
No, not again. My mustache. My beautiful mustache.
An enormous kaboom is heard from off stage.
Well, I guess we won't be seeing him for another 20 years.
That is good. That is good. Of course, there are a couple things I don't quite understand.
That's true. For instance, how come both you and I aged so much over 20 years, but time didn't really seem to affect Dirk that much?
Or how did my reciting poetry have such a strong effect on the vanquished villain?
And who exactly was he talking about when he mentioned being hissed and booed all the time?
They stand and ponder these questions. After a bit, Shirley clears her throat.
Apple babe, one. What, one? What, Akura, Mahaha. Boom, shaka boom, shaka boom, shaka boom, shaka waka. Apple boy, boy.
Well, that does make sense.
Well, that explains everything.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Come on, Hardly. Enough of these old folks.
Well, wait, where are we going?
Where do you think we're going? Those buffalo are still out there and they ain't gonna ride themselves.
Oh, no.
Now get going. I even brought an extra set of spurs.
Well, but I'm not cut out for that. I'm a writer. I'm a poet.
Correction. You're a cowboy poet, and it's time you started acting like one. Now giddy up.
She pats him on the rear.
Ooh, yee-haw.
They both leave. Truly and Tallen look after them.
Well, he's not exactly what I was expecting in a son.
But he's a hero.
That he is.
Do you remember the last time we were down here?
You were tied up.
You had just escaped death-defying odds.
I just saved you.
I had just been saved by you.
You know, even after 20 years, you still look beautiful in this mind light.
And you still look just as handsome.
Well, shucks. I wouldn't want to be accused of false advertising.
He bends her over to start to kiss when...
Oh! My back!
Oh,
The lights fade. Susanna enters.
And that, my friends, is how it ends, with twists and turns throughout it. But in these tales, good soon prevails. Did you ever really doubt it? And now it's time to go back home. We know it's kind of a bummer, but don't be sad. Just be real glad. We'll be back again next summer.